and you can get tickets on our website.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
The Buena Vista Social Club, which was one of the producers is Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it is a Tony Award-winning play.
Yeah, it's a great show.
It is a great show.
You're going to be fabulous.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks to Elizabeth Hasselbeck for guest co-hosting this week. We'd love seeing you. I hope you had a great time. Everybody out there, have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
A person was severely injured in a fire in Waterville last night. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Department has arrested a man wanted in Dixmont, and a piece of legislation that supporters say will help with affordable health care is creating debate as two of Maine's largest health systems argue it will spark hospital closures. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Friday afternoon. We have a winter weather advisory up until 1 o'clock Saturday for a wintry mix that will be on the way of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. We also have a small craft advisory that is up until Friday, so later on today at around 7 p.m. So as we check out the radar and satellite, there is some snow right there that will be leaving us alone. We'll stay dry today with some clouds, and our next system will soon be on the way as we head towards tomorrow. But as we do zoom things out, a lot of activity across parts of the Midwest where showers and even some thunderstorms are developing at this moment in time. So futurecast moving forward, we have clouds that are developing out there. Some wind will be picking up as we head towards your Saturday. There's that wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow, transitioning to all rain as temperatures rise, with a break on the way soon too before we get more rainfall coming up. But gusty winds mainly along the coast up to 20 miles per hour today. But then once we head towards tomorrow, everybody gets involved with the gusty winds as that next system begins to approach up close to 30, maybe 40 miles per hour. Look at that at times. But your hourly forecast moving forward for the rest of the day, we have the clouds right there with temperatures in the 30s and then cooling off for the rest of the afternoon into the evening time frame. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. A person was rescued by firefighters after becoming trapped in a burning home last night in Waterville. According to the Waterville Fire Department, units responded to a building fire at 35 Washington Street shortly after 7 p.m. to find fire showing on the first floor and visible from porch windows. Neighbors alerted responders to a possible victim located behind the front door. Crews were able to remove that trapped person, who was transported to Delta Ambulance and then flown by Life Flight to Maine Medical Center in Portland. A spokesperson for the State Fire Marshal's office says 42-year-old Lauren Slack sustained life-threatening injuries. An investigation conducted by the Fire Marshal's office determined the fire started in the living room fireplace. Investigators determined Slack applied lighter fluid to a fire in that fireplace, which created a flash fire that caused the injuries. They say the fire caused moderate damage to the single-family home. Several pets died in that fire. They say others survived and are being cared for by the Waterville Animal Control Officer. Police are investigating a single vehicle crash in Searsmont that killed a woman from Searsport. According to the Waldo County Sheriff's Office, multiple agencies responded to the Belfast-Augusta Road West in Searsmont yesterday just before 8 p.m. for a report of a single vehicle crash. The Sheriff's Office says an initial investigation indicates 23-year-old Natalie Austin of Searsport was traveling east when her vehicle crossed the center line, went off the road, and turned over multiple times. Austin was pronounced dead at the scene. A crash reconstructionist from the Maine State Police was on the scene to assist with the investigation, which is ongoing. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Department has arrested a wanted man in Dixmont. They had been searching for 29-year-old Jesse Weeman for outstanding warrants and found him Thursday at a local home. They say Weeman was discovered sitting in a vehicle outside the home of 42-year-old Ashley Wilbur of Orrington. Deputies say they also found methamphetamine and fentanyl inside the vehicle. Wilbur is now facing drug trafficking charges. Weeman was also arrested and charged with violating conditions of release, illegal drug possession, and for outstanding warrants. Both were transported to the Penobscot County Jail without incident. A Bangor man is facing charges after police responded to a call from a resident about someone trying to kick in their door. At about 3:15 Thursday morning, police went to Center Street for reports of someone trying to break into an apartment. Bangor Police Sergeant Jeremy Brock says officers told 20-year-old Hunter Targon to leave and not return. Brock says the officers remained on scene. He says a few minutes later they noticed Targon return and use a separate door to gain entry. According to Brock, the officers witnessed him attempting to get into the same apartment and threatening the original caller. He says Targon resisted when officers attempted to take him into custody. Targon is charged with burglary, criminal trespass, refusing to submit to arrest, in violation of conditions of release. A Superior Court judge has ruled in favor of a Bar Harbor man, saying he does in fact have standing in an appeal related to the use of the town pier for cruise ships. Charles Sidman says following the official legal limiting of cruise ship traffic several years ago, the town has not enforced the new limit vigorously enough, and he claims the town has sought to use the town pier to accept more cruise ship disembarkments. Sidman says this violates the town's zoning law, so the local Board of Appeals granted a permit for the use of the pier. Sidman tried to push back against the permit with an appeal, but he says the town tried to tell him he had no standing to do so. So Sidman appealed to the state Superior Court.
Judge Duddy, looking at the law, even though I'm not sure he wanted to, he said, look, the law is clear. Sidman meets the criteria for being able to appeal this matter to the Board of Appeals. So you got to hear him. So now we're going to go back to the Board of Appeals and discuss the actual issues.
Sidman says the town can either change the zoning law to allow for some passengers to disembark at the town pier, or they can follow the current law and keep disembarkations at the ferry terminal. Yesterday was Labor Lobby Day at the State House, where over 150 union members from every Maine county called on lawmakers to support legislation aiming to provide affordable childcare and tax fairness. The Maine AFL-CIO is the state federation representing over 200 unions and over 42,000 workers. They also publicly announced their endorsement of gubernatorial candidate Troy Jackson and his universal childcare plan. He says that plan would include free child care to all working families earning up to 125% of the state median income.
No family should have to leave Maine just because they can't afford to raise their kids here. And no grandparent should have to watch that happen. The future of Maine depends on getting this right.
Jackson says his plan's tax system will be rolled out late next week. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, we'll have the latest on the situation in Iran. We'll be right back.
I'm an oyster farmer and a small business owner. Graham knows what it means to wake up at 4 a.m. with the rest of us. Sullivan needed a harbor master, Graham stepped up. Lobstermen needed help with their gear, Graham dove on it. That's just who he is. I don't see anyone like that in Washington. He cares, he gets Maine, he gets us.
I love every corner of this state and every person in it far too much to just stand by and watch it be ripped apart.
Graham will do whatever it takes to get the job done.
I'm Graham Plattner, and I approve this message.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
Come home to the kitchen of your dreams. At Atlantic Designs, we redefine kitchen spaces, turning your dreams into reality. Our experienced designers ensure you get a stunning new kitchen while bringing function and style to every corner. Whether you're on a tight budget or ready to splurge, we've got the perfect plan for you. Your dream kitchen is closer than you think. So contact Atlantic Designs today and start the process. Your dream kitchen awaits with the kitchen people at Atlantic Designs.
At the County Federal Credit Union, we value the trust our members place in us to act in their best interest. Whether it's providing low rates on consumer loans or raising money to end hunger, we work hard to serve our members and the communities in which they live. We are excited to bring the meaningful and impactful work we do to all Mainers as we continue to grow. Wherever you are in life's journey, count on the county to be your financial partner.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The war in Iran is nearing the end of its first week, and today both Iranian leaders and the Trump administration are digging in. President Trump said there will be no deal with Iran except under unconditional surrender, as he repeated demands to have a say in who takes over as the country's next leader. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest.
Today, as Tehran reports one of the heaviest nights of bombing since the war began, at the city's Grand Musalla prayer complex, thousands of people gathered to mourn its late supreme leader. The group is adamant the war against the U.S. and Israel must go on after the joint airstrikes that killed Ayatollah Ali Khamenei over the weekend. President Trump today is also defiant, posting on social media, quote, "There will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender." Trump demands he be part of the process to choose Iran's next supreme leader. The Pentagon says it's gearing up to dramatically surge its military efforts. Video shows multiple blasts on a hillside outside Tehran. An overnight U.S. Central Command released video of a strike targeting an Iranian drone carrier.
Roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier. And as we speak, it's on fire.
On another front, Israel is widening its attacks on Hezbollah targets in Beirut. The operation in Lebanon has also destroyed residential buildings and businesses, displacing hundreds of thousands of people. The economic toll of the war is starting to ripple worldwide. Iran effectively shut down the Strait of Hormuz, where roughly a quarter of the world's oil passes through. Gas prices in the U.S. have spiked 30 cents in the 1 week since the war began.
But also other prices of goods and services that we purchase are going to see prices rise because transportation is a big input.
When asked how long President Trump plans to keep fighting this war, he told ABC's John Carl, quote, "It's over when I want it to be." A new analysis estimates the war in Iran is costing the U.S. roughly $900 million per day. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Long lines formed this morning as mourners started arriving at Chicago's House of Hope Church ahead of funeral services honoring Reverend Jesse Jackson. Thousands are expected to attend. Today's public service is dubbed the People's Celebration, honoring Jackson's legacy and contributions to civil rights and activism.
Reverend Jackson was one of the first national figures to give young black people an identity when he told them, "You are somebody. You're just not Johnny and Sue, but you are somebody and that you matter." And that helped gravitate the young people to him. And they marched behind him. They stood behind him. And that's why Push was so vibrant, especially in the 70s and the 80s, because of what he imparted in them and put in them.
Jackson died on February 17th at the age of 84. Former Presidents Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden are expected to attend today's funeral services. The Department of Justice released 3 reports from its files on Jeffrey Epstein that had previously been withheld. The FBI reports that uncorroborated allegations against President Trump. ABC's Olivia Rubin has more.
Amid pressure from lawmakers, the Department of Justice quietly posting more Epstein records that had previously been withheld, including FBI records containing uncorroborated allegations against President Trump. According to the newly released reports, the FBI interviewed a woman about Jeffrey Epstein 4 times in 2019. And in her second interview with investigators, she claimed Epstein introduced her to Trump, who she alleges abused her when she was between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. Trump has denied any wrongdoing related to his relationship with Epstein or any knowledge of Epstein's crimes. And there are questions over the woman's claims, including the timeline, according to the report. The alleged interactions with the president took place in the early 1980s, when Trump and Epstein did not appear to be in contact. The withheld files initially left out of the more than 3 million pages of Epstein records released by the Department of Justice in January. At the time, the DOJ released a statement saying some of the documents released in the files, quote, contain untrue and sensationalist claims against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election, adding if they had a shred of credibility, they certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already. Now, some Democratic lawmakers flagged the withheld documents and accused the Department of Justice of trying to protect the president. The DOJ, though, says that those records were improperly coded as duplicates, and that's why they were initially withheld. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
The annual Maine Fishermen's Forum kicked off in Rockport yesterday. The multi-day event aims to provide education to help strengthen Maine's marine industry. Our Grace Blanchard has more.
A melting pot of fishermen, researchers, scientists, and more. That's how organizers describe the annual Maine Fishermen's Forum.
Dealers, harvesters, educators, everyone at the table having a voice. And it's not dock talk, it's fact-based.
For more than 50 years, this forum has showcased solutions for sustaining fishing livelihoods in a changing Gulf of Maine.
So we see fishermen as, really important knowledge holders that help to inform the work that we do and learn what's happening in the Gulf of Maine.
The lobster industry specifically really represents, in some of these smaller communities down east and our island communities, the real foundational economic core and driver of our coastline.
However, many say rising costs are putting a strain on the industry.
This last year was to me, was a down year. Our expenses were this is about the highest that they've ever been.
Longtime lobster fisherman John Druin says the increased costs for gear and labor are compromising profit margins for many fishermen.
Expenses now for traps, everything associated with it has gone up. Building a new boat or any parts, any equipment, just everything is just so sky high.
Organizers say the Fishermen's Forum aims to help tackle these challenges and many others through education. Last year, the forum also gave away $27,000 in scholarships for Maine-based students with marine ties, supporting the next generation of industry leaders.
Doesn't matter what side of the table you're sitting on, everybody cares about this industry in some capacity, and it's coming together, being the blue economy community.
In Rockport, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
On a related note, as part of the Fishermen's Forum, multiple gubernatorial candidates will take part in a panel to discuss their visions of the future of Maine's fishing and aquaculture industries. The candidate seminar will include Shenna Bellows, Rick Bennett, Jonathan Bush, Edward Crockett, Troy Jackson, Angus King III, James Libby, Owen McCarthy, Benjamin Midgley, Hannah Pingree, Dr. Nirav Shah, and Robert Wessels. The executive director of the forum says Maine's next governor and their choice to lead the Department of Marine Resources will have a significant impact on fisheries policy at the state level, and this is an opportunity for fishermen to have an audience with those seeking the governor's office. After the break, car accidents and cancer are no longer the leading cause of death for children. We'll be right back.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Hi, this is Jim with Lowry Law.
Some guy slid across the center line and hit my daughter. The cops said the guy was driving way too fast for the snowy conditions.
I'm so sorry you guys are going through this. Is your daughter okay?
She just had surgery yesterday. Is there any way you could come meet us at the hospital?
Absolutely. I can meet you at the hospital right now.
Lowry Law came to the hospital and settled my daughter's case for $250,000.
Call me. I'm your go-to guy.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One?
because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
The Sylvia Ross Home in Bangor provides 5 professional levels of care and support for residents. We have access to a registered nurse on campus 24/7. Our weekly entertainment consists of a variety of live musical performances and bingo games twice a week. Our on-site beauty salon is available with a professional stylist, and we have 2 libraries that offer computers and Wi-Fi.
Sylvia Ross Home is a warm, welcoming community. Please join us anytime for a tour and lunch.
Keep your next building project on track when you plan ahead with help from Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center specialists offer professional plans with customizable 3D renderings available to bring your project to life. Once your design is finalized and approved, you'll receive a full materials list. And when you buy all your materials from them, Hammond will refund your design fees. Get your building project off to the right start when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Guns, not cars, are now the leading cause of death for American children and teens. Experts say that's a sobering reality and a call for change. ABC's Melissa Adon has more.
New data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows that the leading cause of death in children isn't car accidents or cancer, it's firearms. Since 2019, guns have killed more children and teens than any other cause, and that trend continues today. In 2023 alone, firearm deaths rose by more than 50% compared to just 4 years earlier. Meanwhile, motor vehicle deaths, once the top cause of pediatric deaths, have dropped by nearly half. That's thanks to decades of improved vehicle safety and public health efforts. Experts say the same kind of systems-level approach from policy to prevention could help reverse the number of child gun deaths and save young lives. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
A piece of legislation was brought before the Health and Human Services Committee on Thursday. The proponents say will provide affordable health care. However, 2 of Maine's largest health care systems argue it will spark hospital closures. Our Doug Banks spoke with both sides of the head of the hearing and has the details.
Thursday at the State House, lawmakers and advocates voiced approval for LD 2196, which aims to lower health insurance costs and reduce healthcare barriers by capping how much hospital prices for patients can grow per year, reducing prior authorization requirements, and slowing premium increases.
This is ambitious legislation, but it is not radical.
Hospital spending makes up the largest share of healthcare costs in our state.
Representative Gatine is sponsoring the bill and says if passed, the bill's cap wouldn't apply to Maine's 17 critical access hospitals. And
if there's a determination that a hospital is financially distressed, that also wouldn't apply to them.
But 2 of Maine's largest health systems, Northern Light Health and Maine Health, stand in opposition, claiming those proposed caps would cost Maine hospitals roughly $1 billion annually, taking funds away from care and research and sparking possible closures due to a lack of funds.
Maine Health saw an operating margin of just a little over 1%, which is basically not a lot, and this bill stands to cost Maine Health over $600 million, and we want to make sure that we are offering state-of-the-art care for Mainers.
Proponents argue similar legislation has worked in other states.
Oregon's state employee health plan implemented a similar model and saved $107.5 million in just 2 years.
But Northern Light Health's president and CEO says Maine's healthcare system isn't comparable to Oregon.
They started out with more hospitals with a positive operating margin. Maine is not like that. Maine has much less capability to absorb this type of change. It would be very disruptive for health systems in this state.
Those we heard from Thursday also shared their perspectives before the Health and Human Services Committee. The bill now moves to a work session, and even if the bill were to pass as is, it wouldn't go into effect until January 1st, 2028. At the State House, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Peter Van here. You know, I thought growing up would be the worst, but then I found a way to hack adulthood. It's called AAA. With AAA, it's all about the perks, just like being a kid, except with better snacks and no bedtime. Yes, it pays to be a member.
A sharp pain in his chest. He knew it was his heart, but 2 hours from the big city hospital could tragically mean the end. But it wasn't. Thanks to Senator Susan Collins' tireless fight for Maine's rural hospitals. Because of Senator Collins' work, his local hospital had recently received up-to-date diagnostic equipment and upgraded facilities, all paid for with new federal funding. Lives are being saved. Call and thank our Senator Susan Collins for delivering this lifeline for Maine.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With decades of experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location.
Peter Van here. You know, I thought growing up would be the worst, but then I found a way to hack adulthood. It's called AAA. With AAA, it's all about the perks, just like being a kid, except with better snacks and no bedtime. Yes, it pays to be a member.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. A winter weather advisory posted until 1 o'clock Saturday for the counties highlighted in purple. That's for a wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow, and then a small craft advisory up until 7 o'clock this evening along the coast for active surf, and we're seeing that now at around 5 to 8 feet according to the buoys, and still a little bit active farther off towards the north and east, while farther out towards sea, 4 to 9 foot wave heights are being observed at this moment in time. On land, though, just some clouds that are developing right now farther down toward the south and west. Notice we do have a little bit of snow in the southwestern parts of the state that is currently tracking off to the south and east and leaving us alone. Meanwhile, across parts of the country, look at this, showers and thunderstorms presently developing at this moment in time, tracking off to the east. So here we go. We are going to have our turn for precipitation coming up. We'll have to wait until Saturday morning for that to happen. A wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. That's why that winter weather advisory is posted. We'll see that transition to all rain as temperatures rise. We'll push that through. The rest of Saturday looking good, and more rainfall on the way late Saturday night and the parts of Sunday morning. And then we'll see that push out of here as we head towards Saturday night and the parts of Sunday. And then once we head towards Monday, here we go, we're looking pretty good. Now with regards to any ice, again, this is a bit aggressive, but some ice accumulations expected, making things slippery, but again, that will melt away. But then as with regards to rainfall, some decent rainfall on the way up to around a ½ inch possible. Some other spots just a little bit less. So for today, here we go. Upper 30s, mostly cloudy, east wind at around 5 miles per hour. Overnight, all right, mostly cloudy, areas of dense fog, and mid-20s for the overnight low, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, here we go, low 40s, wintry mix switching over to rain, and that south wind at around 25 miles per hour, so 40s will definitely help to melt any ice that does accumulate. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Rain chances Sunday. Don't forget the time change. 2 a.m. skips ahead to 3 a.m. Highs in the mid-50s, upper 50s coming up for your Monday under a partly cloudy sky. Mostly sunny Tuesday. Highs in the low 60s.
Thank you, Devin. As temperatures continue to rise, things will start to bloom, from plants to flowers and even bees. Professionals say with warmer conditions, just perfect for insects to start a new colony. They say in this time, a colony hatches a new queen. The new queen is jealous. She kicks out the old queen, which prompts all the bees in the colony to move. They say these animals are not intending to attack anyone around them, but only looking for their new home. Experts say although most bees are not dangerous, a certain percentage are Africanized, which is a hybrid of European and African honeybees that are extremely aggressive and will sting people. So if you come across any bees, keep a distance of about 20 to 30 feet. And police in Georgia deal with what they say was an angry turkey. Officers in Cobb County responded Tuesday to a report of a turkey blocking traffic. At some point, the officers were concerned when the turkey, named Henry, appeared to get aggressive. The situation also had the officers cracking up. They were able to get Henry off the road. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great weekend.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
Unwind with a massage. Let me take away the stress of everyday life and allow you to fully relax. I offer Swedish, deep tissue, and prenatal massage. Healing Strength Massage in Bangor is your place for relaxing therapeutic massage.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
You're watching ABC 7.